late, but there was a replay of the Privy Council judgment, the Chief Justice matter with, and that matter had a rebroadcast this morning, and it took a little longer. So they asked if we would accommodate, and we of course said yes. We will make back up that time somehow. Let me be very, very clear with you about something, right? The purpose of this show, and for the next 30 days, 31 days, is to try and give you some clarity as to what's on the line for this country. There's a lot of distraction going on, and they're going to continue to deploy distractions. But we have a responsibility to cut through the distractions. A lot of people want to join the show and call in, and our numbers are 342-0081 or 466-5391. We had to put on some rules. If you're calling in to be disrespectful, if you're one of those trolls that get in phone cards and talking points, some political parties that call and hijack the show, I'm going to have no choice but to cut you off. We have 1 short hour, and I can't try to fix what your parents didn't fix in you. So, I'm saying that, let's have frank exchange. You could disagree with my politics, and I could disagree with your politics, but we could do it respectfully, because there are people listening on the other end. And I just wanted to add, hot off the press, our managing director, Michelle, program coordinator, Michelle, well, I didn't know your title, just came to let me know that from next week, which is the start of next month, we'll also be on the Wednesdays. So we'll be Monday to Friday, 8 to 9. Thanks to Michelle. Thanks to Master Control Kyle, who makes sense of all the madness that tries to happen in this hour. I want to make it possible for everybody who want to get in to have a chance to speak, to have your say. I don't care if you're PNM or anything else, but do it respectfully. If not, Kyle knows, got you off of the knees. All right? I was talking to Michelle earlier about the guy who had the Wednesday morning show, and he gave it up because he's dealing with a personal issue. So it worked out well for him. We wanted the time, and it worked out well for him. Because I was saying to her, I'm glad, because we don't want to ever inconvenience or distress anybody. While talking to her, it reminded me, you know, my parents are full of so much wit and so much, I guess, guidance, and my whole life I get to draw from that. And I remember when I was a lot younger, you know, when you're young, you're falling in love every 2 weeks. Anyway, I fell in love with this girl, and she had a boyfriend, and I did everything in my power to get her away from that boyfriend. And when I did, I was happy, she was happy, and then the new man that came along, he was happy too, and break my heart and mash me up, and I cry long tears. And my mother watched me, and she said, you know what's the lesson here? She said, never build your happiness on the next person's tears. And that has become one of the foundation stones in my life. I will make sure that I am not building my happiness on another person's tears. I just wanted to share that because, you know, I on the radio, and a lot of y'all want to know me better. Who am I? What makes me tick? So that's that. Yesterday, after meeting with Marco Rubio, Stuart Young put out some information in the public space that are all lies. Now, he lied to the public, and I have to cut through those lies this morning. Now, I want you to go back and find the picture published in any media of Rubio shaking Stuart Young's hand. Rubio is so far from Stuart Young, he has to stretch to reach him to shake his hand. His head is angled away from Stuart Young. His free and hanging hand that in a photo op, a photo shoot between public figures would have been on Stuart Young's shoulder is hanging to his side. He telegraphed in his body language, I don't want to be doing this. I had to do it. Take your handshake, but I'm not enjoying it. When Stuart Young said to the nation that the dragon gas is still alive, he lied. I'll tell you something. Young's claim that the dragon gas deal isn't dead despite Trump's tariff threat is a mix of political spin and economic desperation. But calling it not dead could also be a face-saving move, because admitting defeat publicly would tank the PNM's credibility, especially with election looming in a few short weeks. And that what I just read to you was not from a local writer. That is in an article in the New York Times. The world is looking at our condition, and they're trying to make sense of what's going on. We have people in Trinidad have the world to say about Donald Trump and supporting the PNM and not talking about how Stuart Young thief a prime ministership. That's how he did. He and Rowley and the cabal, the deep pocket cabal, hijacked the Black Party and took democracy away from the Black Party and told the black people that own the PNM, it's not your party anymore. That's what they did when they cancelled their internal election. You no longer have a say in the PNM because that cabal that Rowley was fronting. Now, I know that the PNM supporters knew what was behind Rowley, but they were willing to take it because of Rowley's black face. Stuart Young face and black. And I want him to hear me say that. It's a black party you're trying to hijack. No matter how you Lalbi, Harry Trace your nonsense. No matter how Renta Indian Rohan Senanan talk his nonsense. Doesn't matter. The grassroots, I have to pause and take a call. I apologize. This is an important call. Stand by. Kyle, I need to take a break.
Another day above progressing. Another day above focusing on the hustle. Another day because yesterday I was down. People do me wrong, but it's love in me heart.
Voices on the Street with Bruce Wayne and Fuad Abu Bakr. On the Street.
Jaja have me back and I shouting.
All right, sorry about that. I had to take a call. That was Wayne Sturge, and he was giving me some advice on a matter that we are pursuing legally. So, and I needed to take that call. Anyway, to the people of the People's National Movement, let's clear the air and look at what your party is. I want you to look at the highest level of the finances, the people with the money that now have seized your party. I just want you to tell me why there is not one person of African descent in that money cabal. Every Syrian and every Chinese person that is in Trinidad and Tobago are descended from people who catch their aunt, uncle, and nenen, who come here with the clothes on their back and an empty bag. Not one of them came here with a fortune. Everyone comes suffering. Some running from poverty, some running from the law. Yes, there are criminals among them too, running from the law in their respective countries. The Syrians and the Chinese that are controlling the PNM right now, not one of them start off rich. So how come they have billionaires who made their money in Trinidad controlling the PNM, that control the public offices, that say it is a black party and not one black billionaire in the cabal that controlling the PNM. You all have to answer that. And listen to me, we winning the election either way. I'm telling you that. Trinidad fed up. The whole of Trinidad fed up. Every time the people of the country is as fed up as they are right now, PNM loses. Every time. That's why the 1% pelting out money behind all these fake talking heads. There are one man resigned from the UNC 19 times, and every time he resigned, Sabga gave him front page. But people coming on board. A Manning PNM minister came on board last night and endorsed Kamala publicly. There was a whole original Congress of the People group that left for 5 minutes and went with Gary Griffith and dropped that nonsense and came back and joined PEP UNC last night. I'm telling you, we're not getting the mileage we're supposed to get. Now I have this radio show every morning. Even though we were out last night in La Jolla and I was invited to meetings after that I couldn't attend because I said, listen, I owe the listeners to this show on a morning 100% of me and 100% of the truth. Now I'm here to clear the air. I want to tell the PNM supporters, the PNM members, the black Afro-Trinbagonians who own that party, who built that party, because there would never have been an Eric Williams written into our history if Afro-Trinbagonians didn't give him their support and vote him into office. You need to understand that. You own that party. That is your political party. All of the drama and strife that took to build the People's National Movement was built on you, built on your support, built on your sacrifice, built on your marching, built on your protesting. It is yours. So they can't come now and grab it and tell you because they have some money that you can have an internal election because they lied to Penelope Beckles. Penelope Beckles' turn is now. And they stole her chance and gave it to Stuart Young. Stuart Young was never in the PNM. Stuart Young hugging up and kissing any black person he could see right now. He will flag down a taxi if a black man driving it to hug and kiss him just to get a photo up. Stuart Young, I want to ask you, mano, publish pictures prior to 2015 when you went in government. Publish some pictures of you and your black squad now, bro. Publish some of those pictures. Show Trinidad and Tobago that you're every creeder and racer since before you parachute yourself into the People Political Party. He wasn't even a member of your party, but forget that for now. I want to tell the PNM supporters who this morning seething and angry at what took place, that a cabal of deep pocket men stole their party and parachuted this man and tell you all that's your leader. That's not your leader. And the people of Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West have the power to rescue this whole country from Stuart Young by simply not voting for him. I'm asking you for your vote. But I know that you know. And I know that every single person who is a PNM supporter in Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West, watching Stuart Young and watching Philip Alexander and knowing that those are the two candidates and you're thinking that you have PNM loyalty, but you also know that if Philip Edward Alexander was your member of parliament, even if he was in opposition, it would change your life. It would change your family's lives. It would change your community. It would bring hope and opportunity. It would solve problems. Stuart Young has done nothing. The people of Upper St. Anne's, when those developers stole that land and came to build an illegal development and they went to Stuart Young, he stoops, like how he stoops at that media man. And when they came to me, Philip Edward Alexander, and I involved myself, that project stopped. And I want St. Anne's residents, Fonsamans and Upper St. Anne's, to remember. I want the people of Ertig Road in Belmont, when you went those 42 days without water and you all called Philip Alexander and I came and we stood together with your empty bucket and your empty bottle and we made that video. The next day, or just send pictures of your standpipe with water flowing. I want people of the Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West to look at the two candidates. 1 second. Look at those two candidates and decide based on who you think going to perform. Hello, good day.
Yeah, Philip, how are you doing?
I good. What's up?
How are you? But you really feel like a bit shorty, right?
Well, if the people of Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West vote for themselves, I will beat Short Young.
All right. But my honest opinion is, you ain't going to make it. Kamala set you up bad. Right? Kamala set you up bad. But that is all right. That is part of the politics.
Kamala what? Wait, I didn't hear. You're chewing up your words. Kamala set me up?
Yeah.
Brother, I am the person who has been on the radio since my 91.1 days. I coined Morvan Beatam Laventel Silots. I am the one who has been talking about rescuing those constituencies. When the People's Partnership was in office and I was a member of the Congress of the People and Prakash Ramada became the leader of the Congress of the People and the People's Partnership, and he called me and he said, if you want to get a ministry, what ministry would you like? I said, give me a ministry of Morva, Beatam, Laventel and Silots, because somebody had to rescue those people. So don't tell me Kamala set me up. Kamala has given me an opportunity to help the people of Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West, and I look forward to serving.
All right. In the last election, right? The debate, the discussion, right? In the last election, what was the margin of defeat for the UNC candidate and the PNM candidate?
In Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West?
Yeah, you know everything. So you know.
All right, let me ask you one, right? Let me play this, right? Your dick on the table, here's mine. What was the margin of defeat for the PNM in Siparia? What was the margin of defeat for the PNM in Orapooch? What was the margin of defeat for the PNM? Because you see, you're talking nonsense. If you want to measure, no. And this is why, listen, if you want to measure race vote, if you want to measure die-hard seat, go die-hard seat for die-hard seat. But you can't measure whoever was the last candidate against Philip Edward Alexander. I am a national icon. I am the most powerful politician who has never held public office. And the people of Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West know that. We take any other calls again. And I want to go back to this, because I was saying just now, those talking heads like him, he doesn't care about his condition. He doesn't care about his life. He doesn't care about his family. He doesn't care how they suffer. If he gets a $50, he don't care if his neighbor can't eat, as long as he could get. That's why those communities stay like that. Hello, good day.
Yeah, you're bullying me off the radio.
No, I ain't bullying off at all. Are you trying to bully me on my show? Cut him and block him. I'm not dealing with you again, brother. You go Balize house with that dysfunction. Somebody need to sponsor your psychological therapy, but you are my problem to deal with. Compare the two candidates, Philip Edward Alexander and Stuart Young. That's what we're talking about this morning. Two candidates, neither of which are of Afro-Trinbagonian descent. I have some little bit of blood. Stuart Young, I'm sure, could find his too. But look at the two people. Look at their track records. Measure what Stuart Young has done for people while holding 10 years of public office. Compare it to what I have done for people without holding public office. I have already won. I have already beat him. I have done more for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago than he ever has. Contrast our life service, our track records. I was the founder of the Jericho Project. I was the person who stood up for the orphans. We marched every year for the orphans under the Akil Chambers Justice for Children March until Trinidad stopped forgetting Akil Chambers, until his name is etched into history. Now everybody talks about him because they remember, and we made sure they remember. But we also gave the children and the orphans a voice. And I want to thank Kamla Prasad Bisesa under the People's Partnership and Clifton Dikuto for intervening and giving them subventions. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Morning.
Are you for real? That Nancy talking you came in with about you do and we do.
You understand? Yeah?
Boy, you are kept.
Caller, we're not hearing you clear. Caller, you're breaking up. You're not coming through clear. Alright, so Balize house right now, hairy back, sitting down on the bed, and the tighty whities, just now wait. Right now, there's a fella in the PNM we call hairy back. He ain't black. And he's sitting down on his bed in fairways right now, and he draws, beating up that phone, trying to get people who are black to call into this show and attack me for exposing the 1% role in the PNM, owning the PNM, the lodge boys. They don't want me talking. The worst thing to happen to them is that me and Kamla Prasad Bissessa joined forces in a coalition. They panicked. They are right now, today, worried that we are going to beat Stuart Young in Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West, because this will be the first time a sitting prime minister loses to somebody. If it's one of them trolls, you'll cut it, right? Let them in. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Brother Philip Alexander.
Good morning.
Right. Now, just my voice alone, I believe that you don't make no President Trinidad and Tobago vision.
Morning.
Now, the last time we spoke, I already told you, I will make a confession that I would still say that I never really knew you. And the few days that I listened to you, my confession is that I would like to accept a lot of what you're saying, as much as I heard a lot of good things that you said even before. But I would like you to give me a good consciousness of debate with you today, not being a big politician, but as a grassroots, without no big set of certificate and good common sense and within me. So my consciousness here is that the last time you told me about the World Economic Forum, I didn't understand that properly, but after a good few days, even going into the internet and watching and seeing what it is and so forth, I gained a better understanding the way how you put down certain consciousness of the whole program of the Forex situation, with the hierarchies, how they creating circumstances across the international world. Again, a lot of understanding. Now, I want to bring it home. In the situation where we are in Trinidad and Tobago, and I ask you sometime that to take a stand of being your own organization, aside from coinciding with another organization where it is factual that we don't like that, there's plenty of us don't like that organization, as much as we know that the PNM also is a problem. We could see that, notwithstanding that we know that that organization is originally came from Dr. William after colonialism, and it is because we, as was in that condition, in help and encourage that we form our independence for Trinidad and Tobago. Now you reach in a position today, and you are one of the more prominent speakers here in Trinidad and Tobago for the longest while. Your consciousness is more straight to what I acknowledge, what I would say I would respect, because I know where I came from, I know where I am at. I'm also sure where I'm going, but you will help. But I still say again, and I say it the other day to you, and I say it again, that this head of country, it has to be not a coalition, but a one-minded army that holds that kind of prime ministership line that I would like to see. Now, I don't know what you taking on a position to hold in unity with the UNC. But I'm telling you that is not going to go well with you with many the society, I am telling you. But I like your position, and keep up with it. And I wish you well.
Could I give you
in Trinidad and Tobago?
Could I give you my number?
Yes, you could.
My number is 682-2110, because we can't go on this conversation going on very long, and I really appreciate what you're saying. But I want to give you my number, 682-2110.
All right, that is gotten already because I'm tipping you.
Right. So hear what, right? You and I are going to talk some more, and we're going to find a way for you to understand my compromise. And I think that you're approaching the situation with an open mind, and that's all I could ask for, so that we could have a conversation, that you could guide me and I could guide you, if possible.
Pretty much like that, because the kind of mind I have over Trinidad and Tobago right now as President Trinidad and Tobago villager, I really need help in the thoughts that I have to bring to my African people. Serious thing that if I could get that position, it may help. Hopefully, it do. I will say thank you, Philip Alexander.
Okay, my brother. Thanks for calling in. Send me a WhatsApp to my phone with your number so that you and I could talk some more. Yeah, take a look. Hello, good morning.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. I met you down by the bus terminus in Diego Martin, you know, down there, right?
Yes.
That was could be about, I would say maybe about 8 years ago, I think. And you had me an orange jersey. And I remember saying to you, I like your work ethics. And you know, and I could compare you to about your one man we advocated all these things. It's about 10, the effort of 10 PNM cabinet ministers, just your one effort alone. And I want to congratulate you for your national, patriot. You are a true patriot of this country. And I am saying, it's so sad to see all what you articulate this morning is how the grassroots not seeing this PNM is not good for black people. And I seen it on national radio. PNM is not good for black people. And when they can make a decision like what they made in Tobago, and they had an 11-9 division on terms of electing this guy, the Prime Minister now, right? And then they go on and they come back to Trinidad and they went to the next room again and they come up with this 21 in support. It shows that slave. All them government ministers, them black government ministers, they are gatekeepers. I just call them that. Gatekeepers. So that a small minority will remain in power. All they use in places like Cocorit and way up in the Bacatel and all in San Fernando, we're catching this thing. The worst hardship I've ever seen on a population is this 10 years, from 2015 to 2025 here. It's the most hardship. The government said no money, they have no money. But one man gone with the bag of money, gain $1 million, and he gave partner to the same thing. This is how Trinidad come. And they want me, where God give me a brain, a way to think and to support them. I'm not supported, they want to say all about where they go. Because 99% of the people who I know is PNM. I live in a certain area, it's a PNM area. And I'm telling you, all my problem is because of the fact the biggest sin I committed, I'm not a supporter of what's going on in this country.
WhatsApp me, send me a WhatsApp. Here what I'm going to do. Send me a WhatsApp where you are, and I will come. Even if it's not part of my constituency, I will come and walk about with you, and you and I will try and raise consciousness together. What is it?
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay strong, brother. Stay strong. Thanks for the call. Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. You could right the injustice done to Penelope Beckles by firing Stuart Young. Stuart Young requires your vote to continue in office. Give Stuart Young a no vote in Belmont. Give Stuart Young a no vote in Cascade. Give Stuart Young a no vote in St. Anne's. Trinidad will thank you. That man is a dictator. That man is a bully. That man is a man that is an enemy to democracy. How you come to power. Remember I tell you my story, my mother say, don't be the happiness of the next man tears. How he come to power is by seizing it. That is not democracy. He knows if there is an internal election in the PNM, he cannot win. So they They conspired to seize control of the PNM and call this interloper, this mimic man, a prime minister. All through history, when you look at people that got power and misused the power to abuse people, people ask, why didn't anybody stop them? The people of Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West, you have the opportunity and the power to stop this Chupsin bully. This man who spent 5 years in school terrorizing Imran Khan. And I'm telling you this, if I could say that on the radio, because Stuart Young knows it's truth. Because in a defamation case, and you all know I am Trinidad #1 defamation lawyer now, I have seen more cases. They take me in every court but tennis court. So I want you to hear me say, if the Imran Khan accusation was a lie, Stuart Young would have sued from a side. They're trying to make it go away. You can't hide from who you are, Stuart Young. You are a bully. You are an interloper. You are a mimic man. You are a failure. Every single position you have held has collapsed in lies and more destruction. The divers in that pipe that you and your board at Paria left to die will haunt your family for generations. Their tears will fall on you and everybody related to you. Go to sleep. The people of Trinidad and Tobago who were stranded outside this country and were in Barbados, and the Bajans was begging Trinidad to take their people back. You tell them no, but you open the airport for Delcy and she drug lords. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Philip. You go fix it. Philip, will I meet Saturday, same place?
Saturday we meeting by Bossier Village. We starting in Bossier. 10 o'clock.
Well, I was KFC. I was down in the meeting down there. Me and my 2 little friends.
Nice.
Let's keep up the fire blazing. We can't vote for Stuart Young by Philip, but people are to be mad.
Not at all.
You see the two blackish man was in the football? You ever see Rolly K, one of his brothers to sit down and knock a glass and watch football and thing? You come and leech this wicked, evil Stuart Young and me. I see that man called president. Don't give you your number. He's PNM until he's dead.
Don't worry, no, man. We hear what we're doing.
You can't change your mind.
No, but he's sounding like he open to talks, and I open to that. Once somebody, I telling you, if there's 10 feet between us and somebody come forward 1 foot, I'll come the other 9. I willing to try.
You open for talk. Let me go in the store to a bowl and look for talk. You let us some good on your.
Let me stay focused on Stuart Young. Let me get.
I'm on the PNM.
I'm on the PNM. Later, brother. Thanks for the call. We have to face the reality. Stuart Young's comments that he wants to shut down social media should frighten everybody. Don't let a man like that get close to power. Don't let a man get close to power who will take away your freedom of speech. And it don't matter to you now until the price of baby milk and Pampers get so far out of reach that you want to go outside and protest, and they send militarized police to lock you down and kneel on your neck and lock you up for talking. You don't want to live in a country like that. Trust me, that is what we're fighting for. Look at me. I am the happiest man alive, except for politics. Politics drains my soul. Wakes me up in the morning when I want to be sleeping. I don't need this bacchanal in my life. I am only doing it to rescue my country. I told somebody it's for the children. It's no longer for me. So the next generation, I could go on tour the world. Stuart Young could be in my past. Kid Rowley could be in my rearview mirror. I don't ever have to. I could live in countries. I could do like the rest that run from Trinidad and live in large in Holland and London and Jamaica and New York City. That when Trinidad come up on CNN, you change the channel. I could do like them. But I have fighting for my country, and I have stood. And you know that I have stood and I have never sold out. For me to decide that I am no longer independent and I will work in a coalition, it had to take a lot for me to make that decision. And I want to tell you something. Kamala Persad-Visessa has shown this nation that she is willing to do what it takes to rescue Trinidad and Tobago. She has stood up to the secret society, the pocket cabals that play, that they control who gets into power. And I want to tell you this. We have to end all of that. We have to end the contract mafia. We have to end the lodge boys and their control of this country's legislature and treasury. The people of Trinidad and Tobago deserve their democracy. What happened in the PNM is what they want to do to the country. Silence you, end your elections, tell you who's your leader, and not a damn dog bark. We cannot accept that as our reality. I am the tip of the spear in Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. I am the man bringing the fight to the bully. I am calling on the residents, the voters, the constituents of Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. I am calling on Belmont. I am calling on Cascade. I am calling on St. Anne's. I am calling on St. Clair. I am calling on the people living downtown. I am calling on you to stand up with me for your country. The people who saying that you don't want to give me a vote, don't give nobody a vote in Port of Spain North. Let it be the lowest voter turnout in history. I want to tell you something. If you voted for me and if you gave me the biggest voter turnout in history, I want you to know Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, the price of your properties will go up. The quality of your life will increase because people will be talking and they will be saying that is the place in Trinidad to go and live. Go and live in Belmont because things nice, because they have good leadership, that the people are properly represented. That when they have a problem, they organize the people in conversation. You don't have to go and protest and burn tire if I am your member of parliament. You just come to me. Everybody gets my telephone number. It is the same telephone number. It's a 682 number. It's the same number I had for 20 years. And I still be mobile. I say, well, you cut my phone because I owe in you for 1 week. You don't feel shame. I paid a bill, be mobile on this phone bill. Come now, man. And I'm showing you that when I give people this number, I don't have no other phone. There's it. When I tell people, call me on this number, WhatsApp me on this number, I tell my residents, I tell my constituents, when you vote me into office, I will create a WhatsApp group for the people of Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West to message me and say, boss, we have no water. So I call in the CEO of WASA. Why does my constituents not have water? And if you have a good reason, I will mobilize truck-borne water. And we will stand and watch, and you better fix in a timeline that we know is sensible so that people can get back their water. And when your road's in a bad condition, long before it gets to the place where people are to be falling off motorbike and dying, I will make sure, because the walk that I'm walking now, I will be walking while I am in office. I am not one of those like Stuart Young who need to put on silk drawers to make himself feel taller, brighter, prettier. I know how bright and pretty I am already. I don't need validation. What I want is to leave a legacy in this country for other politicians to see that if you have public office, the job is to serve. That's the job. You're not above them. You're working for them. You may have more education. You might have more money. But you're not a better human by any stretch of the imagination if you abdicate your responsibility to the people who put their trust in you. What you do for the least, that's a quote in the Bible. Whatsoever you do for the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. All them who play in church people, all them who go in and pose in mosque and temple and church, judge them by what they do with their lives. For 20 years as head of the Jericho Project, I was working for the homeless people in Port of Spain. I knew their names and they knew mine. Not one of them could have paid me back. Not one of them could have given me a vote. Not one of them could have opened a door for me in life. Whatsoever you do for the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. You can't just have religion when it's convenient. You can't just have ethics when you want to sell yourself as a politician. How you lived your life from small to now is who you are. You can't hide from that. Judge me. When you look at my campaign, you see people in my campaign that knew me as a schoolboy in short pants in Standard 2 and Standard 3. You know people who knew me in St. Mary's College. You know people who know me from Woodbrook, where I grew up. You know people who work with me. I have people all around me. I have teachers from St. Mary's College days. I have people all around me. Enrico Raja, who we just buried, he was the Dean of Form 3 when I was in St. Mary's College, and forever was around what we were doing. I have others, and I want to call the name. I could only call Raja's name because he dead. But the rest of them, and those who support us, those who know what we stand for, they come around to say, you know what? You are the example of what we were trying to get everybody to know. What we're trying to get everybody to understand. The country that we live in, Trinidad and Tobago, is supposed to be the wealthiest nation in the world. You hear other people tell you that, and you think to yourself that that's just talk. I want to tell you, we could break it down to you by the numbers. I could show you All of the people who are billionaires and 100 millionaires today that didn't have a pot to piss in and a penny to buy the pot. I could show you how their money come. They're afraid that there are plenty people in the contract mafia. I see they send Smithit to say don't give Philip parliamentary privilege because they're afraid that they wanted to shut me up with defamation lawsuit and use the court to keep us from being able to talk about all the wrong that was done in this country. $3 trillion missing. It fall long? It gone down the hole? No. People thief it. It's in their bank accounts, local and abroad. Go down yacht club. Go down yacht club, Trinidad and Tobago yacht club. They have people who have multi-million-dollar yachts down there that can't explain where the money come from to buy that. And that's the country we live in. In the United Kingdom, if you go into Parliament driving a Ford Cortina and you come out of Parliament driving a Mercedes-Benz, they're going to ask you where the money come from. And you better be able to answer. Because there are rules and there are laws to prevent corruption so that the people's money don't end up in your bank account so your children could be globe-trotting in private jets while the rest of the people can't feed their children. That is wrong. That is criminal misbehavior in public office. And it is what we are fighting against. If you vote for the coalition of interest in this election on April 28th, you get Philip Edward Alexander and my big mouth. The same big mouth that's going to make sure that Kamala Persad-Bissessar is the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago will make sure that that government delivers as promised. We are going to do this. I believe in her. I believe she will keep her word. Her policies that she is enunciating, they are straight from our heart, and we believe that that is what it takes to fix this country. Stand with her. She has taken a great political risk to stand against the crazy banking policies in this country. She's taken a risk. She's willing to pay a political price for standing against the secret societies and the WEF and the WHO. There's never been a political leader of the size that she of her party that dared to speak those things. April 28th, we have an opportunity to change this country. April 28th, the people of Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West have an opportunity to fire Stuart Young and send a message to the criminal, corrupt cabal that tried to steal your PNM party, that is not what your party was built for. Not to be a bed and a stepping stone for dictators. You need a better country for your family. The people of Belmont, look around your constituency. Look around your community. Look what they did to you. They abandoned you. They left you in disrepair and disrepute. They treat your community like a hotspot instead of giving you the support that you needed so that no crime would occur in your communities. We could fix it. I could fix it. Philip Edward Alexander with political office will fix it. I guarantee you that. Philip Edward Alexander wants to be the project manager for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. Nicola Edgell messaged me when I put out my video this morning from inside the Queen's Park Savannah asking if the pristine green of the Savannah would go if we make it a space for families. No, we will be planting more trees. We'll be making more space, more green space. The Savannah is abandoned and they just mow the lawn every couple of days. We will make sure that there are areas for families, for the people who want to play football, play cricket, play baseball, play whatever. We need to use that Savannah as an example to every other park in this country of bringing the community out. People should walk down their streets and come out in the road and come down by the Savannah in the night. People from Cascade and Belmont and St. Clair should be meeting up in the Savannah. That's what a park represents in a community. And then people will come and park up their trucks outside selling roti, selling gyro, selling polori. We have a call. Let's take it. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Philip, I wanted to fix it. So I was asking you about Swearan thing. Kennedy, I got good PNM addition to the UNC. What are your thoughts?
He was there last night and he endorsed Kamala. I think that he...
Yes.
I listened to him speak and I was very impressed with his depth of knowledge.
Yes, he's from the PNM. PNM people are very intelligent.
You wanna say that about every PNM minister we've ever had? Because I could go down that road with you too. You want to contrast and compare?
But
he's a good one. He's a good one and he leave the PNM, so what I tell you?
Well, apparently there was some sort of allegations against the team with $2.5 million that listed in the tourism constituency office, and then he run off to Barbados.
You see?
So they say, I don't
know that's what they are. That's what the PNM represent, nastiness. What other PNM represents nastiness and dirty people name. Who else name you wanted dirty this morning for your $5?
Bro, we dealing with swear.
Who else name you wanted dirty for the $5 that you get from your hairy back handler? From your hairy back handler. Where did this meet you to pay you? Where does meet you to pay you? As a man think it, so is he.
Right? Yeah,
that's what you're quoting.
Nice one. Yeah,
brother. Have a great day, friend. Have a great day. Have a great day. And we will continue to open the phone lines because I strongly believe in democracy. And we will continue to have to sift out the PNM trolls. It is 9:03, and I think that Kyle is working assiduously to give me back the 15 minutes that they borrowed at the start of the show. I really want to be clear about this to the people of Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West. Your community is a perfect opportunity for us to show. I want to increase the price of land in Morva. I want to increase the price of land going up Lady Young Road. I want people to say Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West is the best place to live. Our community centers, our health centers, our green spaces, proper police and security, that we have police walking around on the beat throughout the communities, getting to meet all the families who live there. They know all the usual suspects. So if there's a problem, we know how to shut it down. We know how to catch whoever doing wrong and protect the people and give them a good life. I am saying to you, to the people of Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West, even if they come to offer you $5,000 for your vote, that don't last. What lasts is the sweet taste of proper representation. There are people who just message me and say, I want a job. That's all I get as a message, you know. Say, send your resume and I'll pass it on. I have thousands of people that on my network, and people get jobs and people get opportunity. But Trinidadians shouldn't have to be living in desperation, not when this country had $3 trillion. If we had done what the people of Norway did and put that money in a heritage and stabilization fund, that $3 trillion today would be worth $100 trillion. The average Trinbagonian in another universe, in another dimension, the average Trinbagonian is a multimillionaire because governments have made sure to steward the people's economy, to take care of their patrimony. You have had little PNM ministers come into office with nothing, calling themselves engineers and builders and doctors, and all of a sudden they're billionaires. Go and check how they acquire what they acquire. We have a whole justice system. We have an administration of justice system that is not set up to deal with the amount of corruption that went on in this country. Look at it. How did Johnny O'Halloran steal enough money from this country that when he died, his children inherited 3 skyscrapers in Canada? How did he manage to steal that much money? Johnny O'Halloran, Minister of Energy, same job Stuart Young have now. Johnny O'Halloran stole more money than, I don't even know what to compare it to. How did he leave 3 skyscrapers debt-free to his children? He left them multimillionaires times over. You know who he robbed? He robbed families who couldn't keep the lights on, who couldn't keep the bailiffs out, who couldn't put food. Imagine you having people in this country, this rich country, talking about choosing between rent and food. A country that we have the #1 chocolate in the world comes from Trinidad. Our Trinitario cocoa should be earning us $30 billion a year. Organic sugar could be earning us $5 billion a year. Pepper mash from Moruga Scorpion pepper at the lowest estimate could be earning us $5 billion a year. Cruise ship tourism and shipping could earn us $15 to $20 billion a year as it does for Singapore and Dubai. We could have, and I ain't talking oil and gas, I still not talking downstream petrochemical industry. I talking about there are so many things. This country, tourism, Trinidad and Tobago has, Tobago is supposed to be the #1 tourist destination on the planet. The oldest old growth forest, the largest brain coral, the Bucco Reef. Tobago had so much going for it. Why is it not? Look at Mayaro. If I had Mayaro to develop, if I just had Mayaro to develop, I'd bring 10 million people to Trinidad every year. Just to enjoy the beauty of Mayaro. Mayaro needs its own airport. Mayaro needs its own seaport. But Mayaro could be one of the most financially viable tourist destinations in the Caribbean, maybe not the world. When you go down Mayaro and experience that. But I mean, you've never had governments with vision or compassion or care for people. So you got people who go into office to loot. And that's what they did. They stole your money. They stole your future. It's why the banks don't have to give you interest on your money. It's why the banks can get away with charging you fees on your money that depletes your resting balance. Nowhere else in the world does that happen. In Trinidad and Tobago, the difference between the buying price of United States dollars and the selling price of United States dollars puts a 13% tax on everything that we consume outside all of the other taxes. That is a 13% tax, more money on everything that we consume. They've done us wrong. And it is the only place to fix it is in government. And the only people to fix that in government is people who care. The PNM has been there for 10 years. Stuart Young has been hand and glove with Keith Rowley for that full 10 years. He is walking around campaigning against his own government. He is promising to do things in the next 5 that they didn't do in 10. He is trying to find a way to say that things are wrong in this country without accepting responsibility. And if you couldn't fix it in 10 years, how did you get this sudden conversion to understand what is wrong? And where did you get this magical ability now that if I give you 5 more, you could do what you couldn't do in 10? When you use up all the billions that we had and you spend out the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, so now our debt bill is higher than the amount of money we have in the bank. Where are you going to get the money from? You all have diversified nothing. You all are still dancing this foolish talk about dragon gas. There is no dragon gas for this country. None. Not as long as Maduro and Trump hold office. And that's the reality. That is the God's honest truth. Fixing Trinidad and Tobago requires putting good people in office. Last night I sat down next to Devish Maharaj. I was the one who told people about Devish. I told Devish that for decades, and he didn't tell anybody. People knew Devish Maharaj as a very accomplished attorney at law. What they didn't know was that Devish Maharaj every single night fed all of the homeless people in Port of Spain without telling a soul. That he built a huge kitchen and they funded it themselves and they would feed the homeless of Port of Spain every night. And if you want and you want to volunteer, you could go, those who find out, and you want to, I asked for a night and went down there and cook and help give out food. It was, I was doing it for years as a Jericho project. So when I found out that Devish was doing it, I was happy to help. This is before I was in politics and before he was in politics. It's not for political gain. That's the kind of people that are standing up. Look at Kennedy Sarah saying. He's a good man. Look at what the PNM going and do. PNM going and call and try and dirty the man's name. The man was a priest, a doctor in the army. I mean, come on. We have a call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Mr. Philip Alexander.
Yes.
Hello, good morning. Why you have us to pay Rudal Munilal all this money when he went in court and he will be paid for? What that was for?
I'm not hearing you.
I say, why you have to pay Rudal Munilal all this sort of money?
That's not me, and it's not Rudal Munilal. So whoever giving you information, giving you wrong information. That's not me.
So it wasn't you? That is what I hear in the news?
No, you didn't hear that on the news. So you got it wrong. Anything else I can help you with this morning?
No, that is all I wanted to find out.
You should check your sources, good. I want to tell you something. They have a thing on the internet called Google is your friend. Before you make the call, just double check. Go on Google and see if the facts that you have are in fact facts. Okay?
Well, that is what come up on the news. That is
No,
what
it didn't come up, but it couldn't come up the news because it's not real, so it's not true. So you misheard, misread, and you should go on Google, and if you want after, you could call back in and apologize. Have a great day.
I apologize.
Yeah. So I think that we have a couple more minutes. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds, and I'm going to use that time to encourage the people of Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. You hear that tiredness in my voice, and my mother asked me about that, and it's 31 more days. It's non-stop. We everywhere. People want me in every constituency, and I go in everywhere they call me because I want to keep shining a light on the failure of the government of this country. The People's National Movement has had control of this country for 10 Eids, 10 Diwalis, 10 Christmas, 10 Carnival, 10 Easter. We've suffered for the past 10 years under a government that only cared about itself and its finances, that their only response to Philip Alexander, because I asked George Young, debate me, they will send their hairy back sponsored callers to call in and try and damage my name and damage other people's names. That's all they have. That's all they have. This cabal that hides behind black faces and black voices, that the latest thing they're doing is creating fake profiles with Indian names to post on Guardian and express comments on the internet to make you think Indian people fighting each other. Trinidad and Tobago, you have an opportunity. I am a strong soldier. It is time for patriotism to rise. It is time for us to stand in defense of our country. And on the 28th of April, we have the opportunity to take this country back from the corrupt cabal, the contract mafia that owns and operates the People's National Movement, this People's National Movement. And the people of Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, it is time to fire Stuart Young, vote for Philip Edward Alexander.
Come out in your numbers, we go fix it. We go fix it. PEP go fix it. No jobs, no safety, no water, no justice, no accountability, bad roads, corrupt politicians, no more. We're going and fix it.